Welcome back to the Stephen A. Smith Show, everybody. It's my honor and privilege to have my next guest here with me. You've known him as the Big Aristotle, the Big Fella, the Diesel. I also know him as this jokester calling himself Tex Johnson and all of this stuff. This big cowboy fan getting on my damn nerves all the damn time. The one and only Shaquille O'Neal is in the house. What's up, man? How you doing?
First of all, you're not talking to Shaq. You are talking to Tex Johnson. And I got this cowboy hat. I just put it out the box for you, baby.
Oh, my
Cowboy
Lord.
Nation, here we go.
That's
Dak
pathetic.
Prescott, what you doing, baby?
You ain't even no Cowboys
Here we
fan.
go, Cowboys. Here we go.
Why are you doing
Here
this?
we go, Cowboys. Here we go.
Why are you doing this? You're not a Cowboys fan. You just do it to mess. Are you a Cowboys fan?
I was born and raised a Cowboys fan. Before I started playing basketball, I used to tell everybody that Too Tall Jones was my father. Shout out to Too Tall Jones.
No doubt about it. But let me ask you this question. You acting like they're going to win the Super Bowl this year. Is that what you're trying to say right here?
We are.
Oh, really?
We are.
Oh, so you one of those. You one of those. You've been saying that every year?
I'll tell you what. I live on a 50-acre farm here right now down here in Texas. If they don't win the Super Bowl, you can have my farm. I will bring. Listen, here is the paper to Tex Johnson's farm. If we don't win the damn Super Bowl, you can have it. You can have the deed and the trust. It's all yours.
I'm about to own a farm. You know, ain't no way in hell y'all beating San Francisco. And if you're lucky enough to get out of the NFC, you ain't beating Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens.
Cowboys forever. Let's go, Dak Prescott. I believe in you, Dak.
Oh, please, did you? Let me go to basketball, okay? You made news the other day. I believe you were on your podcast. You were talking about Chet Holmgren. Somebody was talking about, I think it was your guy, Lefko. He was talking about Chet Holmgren, and you stopped him because he used the word phenomenon. You said you didn't want to hear about that all the time. Let's stop giving these guys these kind of accolades before they earn it. Elaborate on that for a second, because a lot of people wanted to hear what you had to say about him and today's big men.
You know, this era we live in today, a guy's coming with a lot of hype. And listen, I'm guilty of it too. I'll show you all my good clips and I'll post it, you know, making me seem better than I am. You know, he's a good player, but listen, he's not up there with the KD, he's not up there with the LeBrons. Will he? I say hell yes at some point in his career, in 2 or 3 years, but right now, let's not put all this pressure on these kids. He's a good player. Let's just, you know, leave it at that.
Are you talking about Chet Holmgren, Victor Wembanyama, or all of them?
All of them. You know, listen, it's only 1 or 2 guys that came into the league right away and made an impact. You know, everybody else had to work. You know, again, our good friend, the late great Kobe Bryant, as great as he was, it took him about maybe a year, 2 years to become the Black Mamba. So, listen, these guys are doing fabulous. I love their game. Victor Wembanyama had an unbelievable game last night. Let's not put too much pressure on this kid. He's a rookie. And I said last night, stressed last night, even though they're not winning, as an individual, he has to continue to get better. Because at some point, when, you know, KD leaves and when LeBron leaves and when Giannis gets older, he's going to be the future of the league. And hopefully by then, he's averaging 28, 30. And then we can say he's a phenomenon. So, you know, I just think we're putting a lot of, you know, pressure on these kids.
My problem with what you're saying is, why are you so protective of them from the pressure? You came into the league, you had the pressure. LeBron came into the league, he had the pressure. MJ came into the league, he had the pressure. Olajuwon, Ewing, a whole bunch of people came into the league, whether they were big men or not. They had the pressure. Y'all had to deal with it. Why sit up there and coddle these guys from that pressure? You want it, here it is. This is the pressure that comes along with it. What's wrong with that?
Because I am the president of the Big Man Alliance. Joker is the vice president, and Joel Embiid is the treasurer. I will always protect my big guys. These guys are fabulous, but you know I'm always trying to protect them. Even when I criticize them, I'm just trying to give them information, you know, to protect them. These guys are fabulous players, and they continue to get better. But let's not put he's the greatest big man. Let's not put that on them right now. Give them time to, you know, develop. Because if you put that on them now and they don't reach that, you're going to kill them. I'm going to kill them. Barkley's going to kill them. So I'm saying let them earn it. Let them earn it before we give them KD status. KD is KD because he's earned it.
That's true. That's true. No question. He definitely has earned it. But let me ask you this question, because I'm kind of shocked that you call them big men. Embiid's a big man. Jokic is a big man.
Yes.
Wembanyama's tall. Chet Holmgren is tall. Combined, they don't weigh as much as you. I mean, to me, they ain't big men. They just tall dudes. KD 7 feet. He ain't a big dude. Why should they be considered a big dude? They just as skinny as him. I can't believe you, of all people, didn't pick up on the weight factor in all of this, the girth.
Yeah, but my good friend Kevin Garnett said something interesting. He said, we're so focused on what it used to be. We need to focus on it now. And I kind of sat back because KG's a good friend of mine.
Yeah, he is. Good
and I agree with him. So we don't have any big 350s anymore. This is what we have now. So this is what we have to, look at. This is what we have to be proud of. So I'm going to embrace these guys. And then again, me, big guys 4 and 5. Power forward, not the stretch forward.
Right.
Keep them over there with the guard, but the power forward, the Zions and the 5s. And guess what? Don't forget about my boy Bol Bol. Bol Bol is coming.
Bol, that's what we do. That's what we doing now. Bol is coming.
Tex Johnson loves Bol.
Oh my God! Stop it! Just stop it. Just stop it. Let me ask you this though: as we sit here today, we look at Jokic. Some would say he's the best big man in basketball. Obviously has the credentials. He's a reigning, defending NBA champion. We know what numbers, what level of efficiency he brings to the table. But I got to tell you, Shaq, when I look at it from a talent perspective and I see this brother Joel Embiid balling the way that he has balled, the skill set that he has at his size, there are very few people on the planet that have been able to be what Joel Embiid is. How do you compare those two big boys? And they're big boys.
They're both great players. But if Joel doesn't win, you're going to kill him. Your show.
Yeah.
You, Big Perk, J.J. Redick.
Right.
Joker has that edge. He's won, right?
Right.
So, even though, the numbers are different. And I had an interview the other day, and I could remember having similar, lesser numbers than Joel Embiid. And they asked the great Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, what do you think about Shaq? And his response was, he's pretty good, but he hasn't won yet. Kind of broke my heart, but it was the truth. Listen, Joel Embiid is a fabulous talent. Definitely number 1, number 2. But if he doesn't win in this world we live in, you're going to kill him.
Well, listen, I did it to you. I told you you had to win. You remember that conversation?
You did. And listen, like I said, I had similar numbers, but until you win, I mean, I know what Joel is going through, and I definitely want him to win because he can do it all. He's a great player.
What does it take, though, Shaq? There's an ingredient that comes with it because you can't do it by yourself. And we know from a skill set and from a numbers perspective, Joel Embiid puts up the numbers. I told you, you called me and we were talking about this the other day. When you had Penny and those boys in Orlando, you didn't win yet. You got to the finals, but you lost to Houston. You had Eddie Jones in LA, but you didn't win. And then Kobe came and ultimately developed, and then y'all three-peated. What is it going to take for Joel Embiid to capture a championship in Philadelphia?
Well, Joel's going to have to be Joel, and that 34 that he's averaging during the regular season, he's going to have to maintain that, probably add 3, 4, 5 onto that. Max, he's going to have to step up. So you need a 1-2 punch. But the key is one of my favorite players, Tobias Harris. He's going to have to be very, very consistent. You've heard me say many times, and I will always say it, I would not have 4 championships without Brian Shaw, Rick Fox, Robert Horry, Anquan Walker, James Posey, Udonis Haslem. The others are going to have to step up and be special. Like I don't know what Tobias averages now. Let's just say he averages 15. If you can average 20, Mr. Tobias, or 21 or 22, now you're talking.
He's got to be more aggressive. He's got to be more aggressive.
He does.
But you brought up Horry, you brought up Brian Shaw, you brought up the Rick Fox of the world and others. Let's transition because they were all wearing Laker uniforms as well, along with you and Kobe. We look at the Lakers today. I've been on the record. I think the players have betrayed LeBron James and Anthony Davis. They ain't doing a damn thing. I mean, we on the digital airways of YouTube. They ain't doing shit. It's just that simple. I'm looking at them right now. I'm talking about the rest of the Lakers. I'm not talking about Darvin Ham, the coach. I'm not talking about Pelinka, who assembled the squad. I'm looking at Anthony Davis averaging 30 and 12, ain't missing games this year. I'm looking at LeBron James averaging 25 plus, and I'm seeing the D'Angelo Russells, the Hachimuras of the world, the Austin Reeves of the world, who's averaging 17 as of late, and others. And I'm like, they not stepping up. It's like they got comfortable because of the Western Conference Finals appearance. What do you make of what you're seeing from the Lakers?
Well, after the the raising of the accoladed banner, not a real banner.
Right.
After that,
In-season banner. In-season.
Yeah.
Yes.
In-season banner. Just been playing different, and what they have to realize, they have to take advantage of their opportunities. The pressure is on LeBron and AD, but as a professional player, if a guy's leaving you wide open, you have to step up. Rick Fox and Derek Fisher used to be pissed off if they missed open shots. They knew they had to knock those down. So again, the others have to step up. Listen, you got AD playing fabulous. I'm on AD's case all the time.
Mm-hmm.
LeBron's playing, but Reeves got to play spectacular. D'Angelo got to play spectacular. Rudy Hachimura got to play spectacular. And they have to take advantage of you play with two of the greatest players ever. You have room to operate. So if you got room to operate, be aggressive and operate. You can't always wait on them. Sometimes you got to do it yourself. But, the others have to step up. Charles always talk about the others don't matter.
Right.
You need others to win championships, period.
I said this on TV the other day. I said, if I'm the Lakers, if I'm Jeannie Buss, if I'm Rob Pelinka, somebody, I take those other dudes, not Anthony Davis, not LeBron James, but the other dudes, and I drive them around L.A. I make sure the sun is shining. There's about 80 degrees outside. I say, you want to be here? You want to go somewhere else, or you want to be here? Because if you want to be here, you're going to need to produce. I think you throw that in their face and use the California sunshine and the lifestyle of threaten to take it away from them. Do you like that strategy?
I love that strategy, and they realize you have to take pride in when you are. I always keep shouting my others because they took pride. They took pride of holding me responsible, holding Kobe responsible. They took pride of like, hey, man, you're asking us to do this. You need to do this, Shaq. You need to do that. And so, we all held each other accountable. But other guys have to step up. I would love to be a guy out there where people not respecting, and I get to showcase my talent. That would just make my blood boil. You're not gonna stick me, and I can shoot a little bit. I'm gonna knock down every shot. I'm gonna make a name for myself in LA, playing with LeBron and AD.
Please.
You know what they're gonna say? LeBron, AD, and that dude Shaq. Boy, Shaq nice. Shaq is nice.
Who reminds you of you most in today's game?
I'm gonna have to go with Giannis. I'm actually jealous of today's big man. I wish I was able to take out and go coast to coast. I did it every now and then, but I would get in trouble by the coach. But now it's like Joker getting it and calling plays and calling for screens and doing backdoor cut. I had that ability. I wasn't able to showcase. So I'm definitely jealous of today's big man. But to answer your question, Giannis, because when he puts his head down, he's gonna run you over.
Your top 5 young stars in the NBA right now. Because I'm thinking guys like Anthony Edwards, to give you an example. Your top 5 young stars.
Is Giannis still young?
Nah, we ain't going with him. He got a championship in the league for about 8-9 years.
Okay, cool.
I'm talking about some of the young bloods right now. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, even though he's been around for a little while. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Anthony Edwards, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Hey man, you gonna let me answer?
Go ahead.
You know what?
I'm sorry.
You don't respect me. You're trying to go to my boy Ken Compton. Shai, definitely.
All right.
Anthony Edwards is a who. I like Anthony Edwards.
Special.
And I like my boy. I like Trey. I like Ice Trey.
Okay.
I like Wembanyama at the 5.
Really?
At the 4, I'm gonna go with. Hope I'm not saying his name wrong. Miami.
Oh, Jaime Jaquez.
Yes.
Jaime Jaquez. He's really gone though.
Coming off the bench, Alfred Sengun in Houston.
Oh yes, that's a good one. That's a good one.
And I'm gonna throw my boy Zion in there.
Zion, really?
Yeah. Hold on.
I know what he can do. I have no questions about his skill set.
Yes.
Just the desire on a night in, night out basis.
And that's the point I was going to make. As soon as he decides to turn that switch and leave it on, he's going to be a problem.
Shaq, before I let you go, I had to address a little bit earlier in the show this cat, Rashad McCann. out of North Carolina. You remember him, played in the league for about 4 or 5 years. Okay, won a national championship at Carolina in 2005. Wasn't no scrub or anything like that. The brother got mad at me. I don't know him, but he got mad at me because I was like, listen, I love Kobe, miss him to death. The Black Mama's the Black Mama. But I did not have him number 2 all time. And because of that, I'm hating. I was like, is there something wrong with today's culture? Like, if you tell us, I'm thinking Kobe Bryant's top 10 all time, probably top 5. I mean, look, number 2 off guard all time behind Michael Jordan. In my mind, I'm looking at it and I'm saying, wait a minute, what's wrong with me not saying that he's not number 2 all time in the history of basketball? What's wrong with that, Shaq?
We have to sometimes be able to stop time and get out of our own way. Everybody's going to have a different opinion.
Yeah.
Right? Some people like this shirt, some people hate it, some people think it's old school. But we have to, just because you have an opinion doesn't mean you're right or wrong. And just because you have an opinion doesn't mean we have to get into a verbal altercation.
Right.
Now, one thing I know about you, one thing I know about him, one thing I know about me is once we say what we say, we're going to stand on it. But again, I had to learn how to get out of my way. Like, I hear all the time the GOAT conversation. Sometimes my name comes up, sometimes it doesn't. I used to take it personal, but bro, it's 8 billion people here. You think I got time to react to a damn poll and reading every guy's? All right, person number 1 said Shaq. No, like, bro, you think I have time to like look at each and everyone's compliment or non-compliment about me? So I understand it, but we have to sometimes. And this goes for all of society. Just because a person thinks one way doesn't mean they're right or wrong, but it doesn't mean you have to belittle that person or talk about that person. Because we as people, we gonna stand on what we stand on. But I have a problem with what you said. Like, my thing is, it doesn't matter who the GOAT is. My guy should be in the conversation.
Yes.
Don't just no. But hold on. So what Rashad was saying is, like, you guys just throw him out of the conversation. Like, sometimes you have to listen to what people are saying. Like right now, and listen, I love all those guys. And I'm actually jealous that my name is not in the conversation more, but that's neither here nor there. So somehow it just went from Mike to LeBron, and you just threw my guy out of the conversation. His name needs to be in there all the time. Mm-hmm. And when his name is not in there, that's when people have a problem.
I appreciate the correction, but let me ask you this question. As you sit there as a basketball analyst doing a great job that you do on TNT, several nights a week during the NBA season, I've seen you on many occasions question certain things, and you're just talking about the game, and guys personalize it, and you're talking about basketball. You didn't insult them. You just talked about what they needed to do, how somebody else may have done it better, particularly in moments, because you ain't just looking at stats. You looked at moments. Knowing you the way that I have over these decades, you didn't just pay attention to numbers. You were talking about who showed up when it was time to show up, too. All of those things come into consideration. I look at Kobe. There is nothing on earth to question the greatness of Kobe Bryant, who to me is one of the greatest of all time. But it did help for those first 3 rings that he had you in your prime to some degree.
That's not the point. The point everybody is making is don't leave him out the conversation.
I'm not leaving him out the conversation.
You are. You always say, you always say GOAT. The GOAT is LeBron or Mike.
No, I never said it's LeBron. It's always Mike. Okay. It's always Mike for me.
Well,
I say him, number 2 is LeBron.
You're right.
Okay.
You're right. But I always hear Mike and LeBron, and I used to hear Mike and Kobe, and now it's Mike and LeBron. My thing is, it has to be those 3 guys. And if you want to get technical, Dr. J need to be in there too.
No.
Because he started all this.
No.
Ain't no.
No,
ain't
it is no. I love Dr. J, but it's no.
Hey. Dr. J started all this.
Okay. He started, but that don't make him the GOAT, though.
And Magic.
Yes, so, I had Magic up in there too. I said, but that don't make him the GOAT. I got Magic as the greatest point guard of all time.
Listen, it doesn't matter who you or I think the GOAT is.
Okay.
Certain people can be in a conversation. Certain people can't.
Okay.
And I just think before y'all say 1 and 2, you can't leave my guy out. So I can kind of understand why Rashawn was getting upset, especially with Kobe not being here. It just makes it, like I kind of heard what his point was, like you just kind of throw him away. And, we would never do that. And I know you would never do that.
I would never do that.
You and Kobe had a great relationship. But his name needs to be in that conversation when you talk about the greatest of all time.
But what I had to tell Rashad earlier was that Kobe and I had that conversation. Because I told Kobe, because Kobe like, what do you mean? I said, Kobe, I got Mike. You know what I'm saying? I got LeBron, who's been around quite a long time and is versatile with 6'9", 260 and all of this. I said, I look at Kareem, I look at Shaq, I look at Bill Russell. I said, people used to get on me because I didn't bring up Wilt Chamberlain. Here was my issue with Wilt Chamberlain. Your number one nemesis was Bill Russell. He had 11 titles. You had 2. And that was your number one nemesis. So I'm not questioning the greatness of Wilt Chamberlain, but how can I put you against a dude that was your nemesis that's got 9 more titles than you? So it's like, it's a basketball conversation, and that's all I'm saying. And that's something you and I talked about. Yeah, you could throw people in the conversation, but you got to make a decision. Remember I told you that? You got to make a decision, and you got to pick one. I picked one.
And then as a society, like me and you came into the game arguing, but we always had that respect for each other.
Right.
You wrote an article. I called myself jumping on you. You jumped back and you told me why you wrote the article. And I was like, okay, watch this. The next time I saw you, okay, big boy. But so we still could respect each other. And, so I don't mind people having even heated conversations. So almost going to blows. But as long as the respect is there, I think this world will be a better place. Right now, you got a lot of disrespect and this and that.
I agree.
But again, I don't mind people talking about who their GOAT is, but you definitely got to have my boy in that conversation.
I definitely will, and I definitely will. Shaq, I'm going to let you go for now, man. Happy New Year, big boy. Tex Johnson or Shaq? Is it Tex Johnson or is it Shaq? Which one is he?
This is Tex Johnson right here. Here we go, Cowboy. Here we go. Here we go, Cowboy. Here we go.
All I want to know is this. Am I going to be able to find you when they lose next month?
Yes.
This month, I'm sorry. This month.
Yeah.
Am I going to be able to find you?
And listen, I'll tell you what. When we go to the Super Bowl, you can sit in the suite with me.
Really? You going to let me sit in the suite with you? You going to let me sit in the suite with you?
Well, hold on first. Hold on. Jared Jones, this is Tex Johnson. If we make it to the Super Bowl, would you allow Stephen A to sit in the suite with us? Okay, sir, thank you. Jerry Jones said he'll get back to me.
Man, get the hell out of here, man. I'll see you later, man. They will lose this month. They will lose before the month is over. It's over, okay? In January. It's coming. It's just weeks away. It's just weeks away.
Here we go, Cowboy. Here we go.
Bye, man. Appreciate you, bro.